Hey guys, Petey from AirsoftUrban, and today we have a review of the Well R2 Skorpion. Starting off with the real steel history of the gun, this is modeled after the VZ61 variant of the Skorpion, and there are two manufacturers. I'm going to put the first one in the upper left corner and try and pronounce it. Seska Brojavka Hersky Brod. Pretty hard to pronounce. You can tell by the text. And then Zastava Arms. And since it is modeled after the VZ61 variant, it fires a .32 ACP round, and it's a submachine gun used by several countries today, such as the Czech Republic, Egypt, and Yugoslavia, and it was designed for use with security forces, but in the Czechoslovakian army, it's also used as a personal sidearm for lower-ranking officers. Taking a look at the box of your Well R2 VZ61 Skorpion, it looks pretty basic, just a nice picture of the gun, and now let's find out what comes in it when you open it. A 300 round drum magazine, and this is winding like this, and to load BBs in it, you open it in the back and put them in this flap. Now this gun also does come with a 52 round mid-capacity magazine, but that was lost right before this review. A wall charger. Now this is unique in the essence that it's used for a 7.2 volt mini type battery, so it has to have a special charger. A 7.2 volt 450 milliamp mini type battery. Now it is quite easy to install it. It goes in the grip. There is an arrow to remind you which direction it goes. Just slide it in like that. Make sure that little pin type thing is down. And then you simply slide this thing on, twist it a little, and there you go, your battery is installed. Now removing it is very easy to use. You simply pull up this little rectangle, battery pops out, and there you go. And lastly, your Well R2 Skorpion. Now keep in mind it does not come with that foregrip. I'll explain why it's on there in a second. Taking a look at the stock, it is metal and it does fold, and you don't have to press any buttons. Just folds in like that. Don't have to press any to get it back up. And it is sort of uncomfortable. It's not exactly easy to look down the sights with the stock fully back, but otherwise with it forward you can aim down the sights very easy. Now you can remove the stock by popping out the pin located right here, but after doing it a few times it does become quite loose and can fall out very easily, so I suggest watching out for that on the field, as you could permanently lose it. The grip is plastic, and might I say it is extremely comfortable and conforms to your hand very nicely. The trigger guard and trigger are metal. The lower receiver is metal. Your magazine release button is located almost right above the magazine well, and the magazines do pop out quite easily. The selector switch is metal. Now this is semi-automatic, this is safety, and this is fully automatic. Now when it's on fully automatic, it seems like just the slightest nudge could knock it back to safety, and that is one problem with it. The whole upper receiver is plastic. The outer barrel and inner barrel are both metal. Now taking a look at your charging handle, it is sort of hard to pull back when you are holding it in an aiming position, but you pull it back, and up top it reveals your hop up, and it's that knob in there right there, and otherwise it makes an okay noise when you close it, but otherwise nothing too spectacular. Now these small rails right here, from what I can tell, are plastic. Now the reason this foregrip is always on here is because basically this foregrip is now, like, for some reason impossible to get off of these rails. I don't know, we tried getting them off as hard as we could and it just would not come off. And that's definitely one problem with either the rails or the foregrip. Now the sights right here and here are metal, and they're just okay. Nothing too special, but you're really not going to be going for accuracy if you get this gun. Now when you fold in the stock, it is sort of blocked, the front sight, by the end of the stock, so that's sort of one problem, but like I said, you're not exactly going to be going for accuracy when you buy this gun. Now as for FPS, I counted it at around 180 feet per second with 0.2 gram BBs. As for rate of fire, around 11.1 BBs per second. Now, as for pros and cons, starting off with the pros, the folding stock, which allows you to use it as more of a sidearm type of deal. Also, the metal low receiver does add some very nice weight to it, and the rail, which allows you to mount a foregrip. And also, the rate of fire is decent, but you know, it's nothing special, but it's still nice to have a good rate of fire. And the 300 round drum magazine. As for cons, the finicky rail, not sure if it's that or the foregrip, but the foregrip is just like glued on there practically. Also, the surprisingly low FPS. Now, I did almost 20 shots, all averaging around 180. And, you know, FPS isn't everything, but still, that's quite low. And, it's good for CQB, I guess, but still nothing really good. And, yeah, otherwise, there's, like, this kind of feels like JG plastic, I guess. You know, it's not necessarily gonna break, but it's still not, like, G&G nylon fiber plastic. Also, just the fact that the pin can pop out very easily when it's been removed already a few times. Now, as an airsofter, the only real practical use I can think of this for is like indoor battles. Its maximum range is probably 75 feet. Otherwise, they just drop. You know, maybe if you can adjust the hop up real well, you can get it to shoot a little bit farther, but otherwise, you know, CQB indoor, otherwise a sniper, you know, backup is an SMG. And, but also, this costs around $90, and it's pretty hard to find. I'd probably get instead a JG P90 if you're looking for a gun for this price, or even spend $10 extra and get a Galaxy MP5K, as they both shoot way higher FPS. You know, like I said, FPS isn't everything, but I mean, still, you know, the person needs to be able to feel the hit. And yeah, otherwise, I guess you could use it as a sidearm, but you know, you might have trouble finding a holster that fits this. Now, as for being economic, like I said, this is around $90, and it is quite a hard to find gun, and when you find it on sites, they usually sell out pretty fast, as it is a quite unique gun. But yeah, like I said, $90 and pretty hard to find. Now, to conclude, the Well R2 VZ61 Skorpion is a very unique gun, but it definitely has its cons and some pretty good pros. Otherwise, it's still a pretty hard to find gun. It has a low FPS, low range. So if you're looking for a very unique gun, you know, I suggest this. But like I said, for practical use on the field, not really, just because you know, it's hard to look down the sights with the stock, and just low range. You know, shoots decently straight, but you know, nothing spectacular. Well, that's about all for this review. Please remember to rate, comment, add, subscribe, play hard, play safe, and remember, have a nice day.